Greetings and welcome back, everyone. We are back. The Angry Chicken, episode number 30. I'm Garrett Weinzierl, and I am joined, as always, by Willie Dills Gregory and Jocelyn Moffat. Guys, how are you doing? It's been a long 2 weeks since the last time we did this show.
It was so long. Oh,
what is
so
this
sad.
show again? What do we talk about?
Are we talking
How
about?
old is this?
Man, hunters, right? Hunters, man. Am I right?
Oh man, yeah. And Dills, I mean, they really just got to blend together for you. You're just like, is this the one about Warcraft or Heroes or
Baseball? Yeah, I don't know. I just come on and then you talk at me and then I say words and it's good.
So this is the one about the Old Republic, right? The Star Wars MMO?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
That's what
the
we're
Old
doing?
Republic. Still somehow in like the top 100 of gaming podcasts. Why? Why? We haven't done an episode in like 2 years.
It's because Scott Johnson's name's on it, I think. I
That's
think
true.
that's
I
why.
think,
I think
it's
that's
still in the Frog Pants feed, I think, probably. So when people subscribe to that, they just download this and they're like, wait, what?
Oh man, that's great.
By the way, the Star Wars Day thing happened the other day, and Lady Dills
happened the
admitted
other
to
day.
me,
That was like over a week ago, but yeah.
yeah, but she admitted to me she hadn't watched Star Wars, so I was trying to find.
And
Okay,
she's
so
in the background,
now,
and we
trying
can
to
hear
pretend
her.
like that's not what happened, but that is clearly what happened. And so we watched A New Hope, and I hadn't seen that movie in a long time. Quite enjoyable, minus the new stupid scene with Jabba that didn't need to be there. But it's like impossible to find a version without it unless you scour the internet.
Unless you have a laserdisc player or a
what?
VHS
Laser
player.
what?
You heard that too, right, Dylan?
Yeah. Hey man, I've been on vacation. I'm not good at the talking thing right now.
Still drunk after a week on the boat. I get it.
That's what happens when you get engaged, man. You drink a lot of champagne. A lot of champagne.
Someone in the chat room just said, how was the fireside gathering that happened a couple weeks ago? It was amazing. It was amazing. Everybody should come out. We're going to continue doing those. There's going to be more tournaments. SF Game Night. You can find out more if you just hit me up or find out about that. But I'm going to be doing that like every Tuesday. So Bay Area people, hit me up.
The chat room right now is now a wonderful mix of Laserdisc and congratulations on getting engaged. That is what I
That's
love.
right. You
Like
have
getting
bigger
engaged,
news.
Laser.
You have bigger news than Laserdiscs. So let's hear about it.
That's what it is. My girlfriend Katie and I got engaged on our vacation this past week. So she's no longer my girlfriend; she's my fiance, and that's weird to say.
You
That's
broke up with
everything.
her, and then you asked her
Yeah.
to marry you.
Yeah,
Good job.
that's how it works. That's how I was told it works. But
You're like, look, I just can't call you my girlfriend anymore. So will you marry me? That'd be actually a pretty good way to go about that.
Yeah, no.
No, we shouldn't. Guys shouldn't do it that way.
Go.
I'm not sure that's how you should do it.
All right.
No.
All right.
No.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Yeah, I have no way to make this little.
it. I mean, congratulations.
I have no way to make
fantastic.
this little opening discussion Hearthstone related, but screw it. I'm excited.
All right. I have other news. I need to correct myself. She has just not seen all of them. Okay, I have to correct myself. I'm not supposed to correct myself. Damn it. I can't get anything right.
You're trying so hard.
Can we just add Lady Dills to the show tonight? Can we do that?
Sure.
Yeah,
Just pull
probably.
her off. Like,
Yep.
how's her Hearthstone going?
She's still not out of Angry Chicken rank.
Oh, okay. I was proud of Katie. She got her card back all by
Man,
herself.
she's giving me the most evil looks right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's wonderful. Jocelyn, how about you? How have you been since we last spoke?
Not too bad. I actually have Hearthstone-related awesomeness to share with all of the, well, I was going to say all the ladies in the audience, but, no judgments if dudes wants
I'll
to go
just
by
stop
this
paying
too.
attention. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Won't listen.
But I found the most excellent bracelet on Etsy from the Tallgrass, and it's Hearthstone.
Whoa.
Oh, that is sweet.
I know, right?
Obviously, for the audio listeners, you have no idea what we're talking about, but you can look up the store that you just mentioned.
Trust me, it's super awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. That's great.
And then they sent me bonus earrings.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome. I think Soraya has those as well. I remember seeing photos on Twitter at some point and wishing that they were gauges of those. If someone made me a Hearthstone like gauge, I would put them in my ears.
So
That
that's
actually
what you
pretty
call them
badass.
then? Gauges? That's
Ga-
what they
Yeah,
are.
gauges.
the big thing in his ears. Yeah.
Gauges and or plugs.
I've never stretched my ear holes, so
Well, the thing is, you actually have a gauge. You just probably don't know what that gauge is, right? But Garrett
Oh.
probably knows exactly what gauge he has.
Yeah.
Garrett, how big
Are
is
you
your
at a
feet?
0, a double 0? Where are you at?
I'm at a 2 at the moment. I'm working my way to double
Wow.
zero.
pretty badass.
My fiance just left the point where there's normal numbers and now it's just straight up measurements.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Now they just say like how many inches.
She
it
just
is or
went
whatever
beyond
happens.
double
How many
zero.
inches?
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, that's awesome. One more time, what was the store on the Etsy shop called?
The Tall Grass, and the link is in the show notes.
All right, awesome.
Sweet.
amove.tv/TAC. Let's get into this week's news.
Good news, everyone!
Oh, it's so nice to have Professor Farnsworth here with us to do that. There was a patch while I was gone, and I don't know if everyone understands how long I was gone. I got back Saturday afternoon and like just went back into Hearthstone cold turkey. I didn't read anything. I didn't have any clue that anything happened, and I get in and it's just Unleash the Hounds has been changed. Wait, what? Wait,
Again?
this is Hearthstone. We're live now. They said that they weren't going to change cards unless absolutely necessary.
Well, it was absolutely necessary.
You're damn right it was.
Yeah, it was. And from the moment they switched it to 2, I was like, "Ew, this seems bad, but okay." And it was bad. Guess what? It was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I went in and I still had my daily to get my hunter win, so I went straight to my hunter deck. Honestly, without making adjustments, it's still working fine.
Yeah, it's still good. That's the thing. It's actually good rather than completely overpowered good.
Yeah. So let's talk
should
about what the change was for those who may not be aware. It was a relatively small patch. Obviously, this is not sweeping balance changes of multiple cards. Only Unleash the Hounds is the only card that had any change made to it. So it now costs 3 mana, up from 2.
Yeah. So it used to be 4, then it went down to 2, and now they realized, why did we make such a sweeping change? Why didn't we do an incremental change?
It wasn't 4 in its current form, though, right? It was 4 and
No.
it had a
No, but
completely
originally,
different
no, in
effect.
its current form, it was originally 4. Like in its current, it was originally the 1 mana.
Oh no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, add charge to all the existing.
because they made that
beasts.
change.
Then it went straight to 4.
Yeah. Okay.
And this current version of it, and then they knocked it down to 2 because it was clearly a bad card at 4 mana.
Right.
And now at 3, I think it's just fine. I think it's totally balanced. So
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I
Yeah,
think that they were kind of, when they made it 2 mana, I think they were really banking on the fact that you had little to no control over the use of the card, in that it completely relied on your opponent having a lot of minions. And even then, the ones that you summoned were 1/1s versus their 2/3s, 4/4s, whatever else they had on the board. So
Yeah.
I think they thought that the board state would kind of balance the card, but it didn't end up working that way because of Timberwolves and Beast Synergy and everything else. So
well, not only that, but because of the fact that that they have Hunter's Mark, and not only that, the with the Starving Buzzard and the Scavenging Hyena, there was just like 5 or 6 different ways to make this card completely overpowered, and then you make it so that the opponent feels like you had Shaman who weren't putting a totem out.
Yeah.
You have paladins who aren't putting a dude out, like
a token out.
it's
Yeah.
basically stopping you from playing creatures, and that's not really fun for the other person. So even if it wasn't like totally overpowered, that shift in play style from the other player, and the fact that it was affecting the meta in such a sweeping way, just made it clear that this card wasn't correct in its current form. So I feel like right now it's fine. I know some people still feel like it's not okay, but it's fine. You don't see as many hunters now. Yeah, I think it's fine.
I find my games go longer as a hunter now. Instead of finishing it up in turn 7 or 8 one way or the other, I'm going to 9 and 10 now, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. We have to wait a turn to go off, like to do that big crazy combo where you just clear their board and draw 6 cards. Like you can't do that on turn 4 anymore. So
Yeah. No, you can't. But yeah, I mean, we're at the point now where the game is live. It's been out for a little while now. You have to tread a little lighter. You can't make massive sweeping changes to the balance. So I think this is good.
Yeah.
The people who still think it's broken or still needs to be nerfed, I don't think the game is in a state where you can make a card unplayable. Like
no, I mean, not especially a card that's
it's like a
kind
backbone.
of a keystone to
Yeah.
a class. And I mean, and I understand why they did the 2 mana thing, because in theory at the time Hunter was so bad. Hunter was like the worst by far, and you couldn't make it work unless you did some really crazy stuff, and even then it mostly didn't work. So they kind of made a big change early to try to make hunters viable again, and they really made hunters viable again. And now I think they realize once people figured out how to play the hunter deck in a way that is actually correct, it's, you know, because I remember on this show many times being like hunters are forced into this rush play, and I was proven wrong by the community of Hearthstone that there's another way to play hunter, and it's a really effective way to play hunter, but it was actually overpowered in that fashion. So I think I don't think we'll see another change to Unleash, and I know Unleash has been like a thorn in Blizzard's side. This card has been changed more than any other.
Yep.
So it's hopefully this is the last of it, and I think it's okay.
I think we're good. You know,
Yeah.
it's
I think we're good.
It's
Feels
okay.
good.
It's good. We're moving
Yeah,
on.
we're good. We're good. How high over our voice going? Yeah. The higher your voice gets, the gooder the card is. It's good. It's good. It's fine.
That's what you say for like Tyrion and
Whoa.
and Leroy. Don't you woo me, Jocelyn. And now I will talk like this for the rest of the show to make up for that.
Yes. Manly's voice.
Other notable changes that happened in this patch, completely non-balancer related. The reconnect functionality is now in place for practice mode. Huzzah. This one threw me off because I played some friendly games, again without reading patches. Friendly games now have a timer
Yeah.
on turns.
I don't like this. I'm not
Yeah,
a fan of this
not?
one.
I'm not a fan of this either.
I think it's fine, but I think they should allow you to turn it on and off because
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
there's
It
certain
would make it
times
hard
where
to teach.
yeah, like if I want to just spend some time coaching somebody or whatever, we play a friendly game and we sit and we talk about every possible move that could be done and what the board state would be at the end of that move. You don't have that luxury anymore. And one thing that this was affecting was when people are doing tournaments currently, they have to use the friendly play mode, right? So unless the tournament instituted their own timer, they're basically stuck with people just taking like 6 minutes to figure out what move they're going to make. And that's not fun for anybody. But the fact that you can't just turn it off is not that cool. I would like it to just be an option. Like when you're in play mode, do you want a timer or not? And then you just, turn it on if you're doing a tournament, turn it off if you're just playing your buddy.
We also don't have an observer mode or like a proper customs games mode either, and that may come in when we get that. We don't know, because that would be nice.
Yeah.
Because I kind of like that you can take longer turns in tournament plays. It gives the caster some more time to really kind of chew over what just happened and what could possibly happen next. It's kind of nice watching the players like plan out their next move. Obviously, 6 minutes, a little absurd, but like
No, it's
three
crazy.
minutes.
I remember some
like,
of the ESGN stuff where I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to just turn it off. I was like, I cannot watch Monk think about this move anymore.
Yeah.
Not to like call him out only, but he had some of the longest games, and it wasn't just him; it was other people.
Right.
That's the game I remember. But I think a tournament mode where you can decide all of those little things would be amazing. Like, how long of a turn timer do they have? And like, why don't we place all the players into a bracket before we start playing, and then you automatically get matched up against the person when you say I completed my match, or all that kind of stuff would be really, really cool if it was in the game. I don't think it's a priority for Blizzard, but I'm hopeful that at some point that's what we get. When we get like Observer, we end up getting a tournament mode as well.
Yeah, and that would be wonderful. Speaking of wonderful, this change, winning a game as Lord Jaraxxus will now properly grant credit towards unlocking the Warlock Golden Hero. Oh, what's down here? In like really little font, it says, "Eat it, Jocelyn." Oh, okay.
Jeez,
Thanks.
See,
Thanks.
from now
predicted
on,
this
I'm
one.
just gonna let you guys talk, and I'm not gonna play devil's advocate ever because
somebody
who
has
needs
to.
conversation? Who needs, a little bit of disagreement? No, I'll just agree with everything and just sit here and go, "Sure, Garrett. Yes, Dills. Sure, Garrett. Yes, Dills." Would that be better?
Yes, sounds good to me. I think we were pretty clear that this was just a bug, and but I'm glad to see this in there because people who play the hand lock were getting screwed out of games to unlock their golden hero. So
Yeah.
all the
So
Zulok
do we
people didn't
know-
give a crap, but everybody else.
Do we know if it's like retroactive? Like if you won games as Jaraxxus, are you going
I
to
don't
get credit
think
for
so.
those? Or
I
They
don't
didn't say anything about it, and I
Yeah.
didn't get like sudden. I know I've had some wins that were with Lord Jaraxxus, and none were suddenly added. So, I don't think so.
I also want to
Sorry,
note
lost
that the chat room is rushing to the defense of Jocelyn, saying that your
Oh, as
devil's,
they do,
your
yeah.
devil's advocacy is the reason you're awesome on the show, and I believe that. I just like teasing people, Dills included. And
Yeah. Oh, dude, come on. Watch us play heroes together.
when someone is really adamant about something, and then Blizzard changes it.
Exactly.
So no, it's good. No, I don't believe I had any retroactive wins awarded to my Warlock progress either.
Yeah, but that would have been too hard for them to go back and
Yeah.
figure out anyway. I mean, I don't blame them for not doing that, but it's a bug. Bugs happen. Like, they would have had to go retroactively give me all the wins when my dancing minions cost me a game. Like, you just can't. No, it's like, sorry,
Can't go
bugs
back.
happen. Can't go back.
Well, and I
Just
mean, they were
moving
pretty open with the fact that it was a bug. So anyone paying any kind of attention to the community, to Blizzard, would have known, like, okay, if I'm not either, I already know I'm not going to get credited with the wins and I don't care because I just want to, progress through my season and this is the deck I like. Or I'm going to stop playing with Jaraxxus to win games and I'm going to figure out some other kind of end move, end game type situation until they patch
Something
it out.
better than Jaraxxus.
You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Actually, the Jaraxxus is coming out of Handlock in a lot of decks, actually, because of the fact that if you play Jaraxxus, you can no longer play your Molten Giants. So, some Handlock players are arguing that the Molten Giants will win you more games than Jaraxxus will. Because essentially when you play Jaraxxus, you forfeit your entire turn to play Jaraxxus. So unless you can, not lose the very next turn, which sometimes is really hard to do, you can't find a way to play Jaraxxus, it's better to not lose the chance to play your Molten Giants. Because when you play Jaraxxus, your actual total health becomes 15. And the Molten Giant requires you to be, something below your total health to become cheaper, which means you need to be at 5 mana for it to cost 10. So, yeah, or 5 health for it to cost 10 mana.
It has been so fun playing Hearthstone post iPad release because Katie is just now getting into it. So and she opened her first Epic the other day and it was a Molten Giant and she's like, 20? What the hell? I can't even get 20.
Yeah, I know. I can't play it anymore. What? No. Yeah, it's one of those things that's not obvious. It's science, so you gotta like figure that out the first time by screwing up. Like thinking, oh, I'll play Jaraxxus, then my Molten Giant will be 5 mana. It's gonna be sweet. And you're like, nope. Never mind.
Doesn't work like that.
No, it does not. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it shouldn't.
And,
It shouldn't work that
and
way.
that is definitely one of the worst feelings when you're playing a hand lock or giant's lock, whatever you want to call it. When you're like at 9 mana plus, you have Jaraxxus in your hand, you haven't seen either of your Molten Giants, and they're just deeper in your deck, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah,
this is
you
a
know
bad
they're
place
in
to
there and
be.
you're gonna draw them next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
What's
a good place
really
to be.
cool though is double Molten Giant, then Jaraxxus. Oh, that's a good one. You're at like 7 health. Double Molten Giant, Jaraxxus. See you later.
Yep,
That's a nice
but it's not guaranteed.
No, that does not happen very often. But yeah.
But oh man, you're definitely saving that replay and showing your friends if it does. Anyways, also while I was gone, BlizzCon tickets went on sale and as usual sold out in a couple milliseconds this year or something. I don't know.
But they're way too expensive though. How did this happen?
They're they're $25 more.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, yeah, they're pricey, but if $25 is make or break, I don't know.
Yeah.
Clearly wasn't for me because I got my tickets even though I wasn't here
I
and
got
I'm
my
so
ticket too
excited.
on the first night.
Awesome. So the entire Angry Chicken crew will be there.
We will be
Looking
there.
forward to that.
Yep. And 2/3 of Into the Nexus, I don't believe Kyle is attending this year.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, jerk.
This makes me sad.
Jerk.
All right, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going.
What?
It's okay. Garrett and I'll have fun. We don't need you.
Kyle's the deal breaker.
Yeah. So I heard good things that the new system wasn't terrible. I didn't experience it firsthand.
It was fine
I
for
don't
It's
me.
fine. Not a nightmare.
No, it was.
Everybody I know who wanted tickets seems to have been able to get them, or at least most of. I don't want to say that like across the board. I'm sure there are people who didn't, but it seems like people who are really trying got them. So
Well,
that's
Yeah.
good.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited now that I know I can go. I'm just like, oh yes, it's BlizzCon again.
This is going to be a good year because we're going to have the big time, not just Like, we're not going to see any pirate decks at this Hearthstone tournament.
You mean Husky's not going to be invited back?
Well, he could earn his way in. I don't know.
He could grind his way in.
He could grind his way to the top, yeah. But we're going to see a legitimately, elite Hearthstone tournament, and that's going to be awesome. And not like the other one wasn't really great and fun to watch, and I'm not saying all those players were terrible, but we're going to see like the people you've never heard of that are just really good. Like this is not going to be in any kind of invitational. This is like, there's going to be some names like you're going to be like, who is this guy? Oh, well, he was number one for like the last 4 seasons. He's amazing.
I'm really hoping we get like an
about
awkwardly young child. Like no, I'm serious. Like
yeah.
no, like someone's like 10 or 11, just like like up there against
wizard.
like Artosis or something. That'd be amazing.
That would be great. I hope that does happen.
It's that kind of stuff. That's why I like it. You get interesting things when you pull from such a large sample size of people. You get really cool stories for a tournament like this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll get. So I know a lot of people complained last season about like Zoo and Hunter, but when you looked at actually the top 16, everyone was playing Miracle Rogue. So stay tuned later in the show, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. While we were gone, 2 new Naxxramas cards were shown. First up being Avenge, which is a new Paladin secret. Insert your eye for an eye, Angry Chicken
I was
jokes
going to say,
here.
do we like this one? Am I allowed to like this one?
Yeah, you can like it, but I'll save my opinion until after you tell everybody what it does.
All right, this new Paladin secret. It is a common card. Which doesn't matter for those of us playing Constructed, but for Arena it does. It costs 1 mana, as do all of the Pally secrets. And it states, secret, when one of your minions dies, give a friendly minion +3/+2.
Yeah. So it's random, by the way, just for anybody wondering. You don't
This is
decide.
probably why I like it.
Oh,
You don't decide while your opponent is playing. Like, it doesn't stop the turn and say, which minion would you like to give +3/+2?
Oh,
It just
you're
gives
right.
it to a minion.
You're right, because it can't happen on your turn.
Yeah. So that right there. I mean, obviously that's how it has to work. It's a secret. You can't stop the game and be like, hold on, figure out which minion you want to give it to. But the problem I have with it is that Paladin is really crappy right now, and this is not going to fix Paladin. Like, this isn't going to make Paladin suddenly good. And, I would like to see something that would have done that. So I'm a little disappointed that it's
That's
not
a lot of stats
that.
for 1 mana, though. Like,
Well,
It is,
but you
but
can
at the
get
same time, like if one of your minions dies and it's the last minion you have, then your secret pops and you don't get anything.
Well, no. It's not going to pop if there's no minions left. It's going to be, there's other secrets that are the same way that aren't going to pop like if there's no way to trigger it. So this will
But the
only
trigger
pop.
is when
the trigger is
one
the
of
death,
your
it's
minions
not the buff.
dies.
It's not going to pop if there's no minion to get. Like, it will not pop if they can't give something 3/2. You're not going to have 1 mana just go to waste. It's not going to work that way.
I think
Like, I
that's how it's
guarantee
gonna
you.
work.
I
you sure?
guarantee you. That's
Garrett,
not gonna
can
work
you
that way.
can you
I'm-
tie break here?
Do you?
I'll tell you why. It's not going to work that way. No, I'll
Worst
tell you why.
tiebreaker ever.
Take a misdirection spell, right?
Yep.
And when there's nothing on the board to misdirect to, and you attack with a weapon, you just attack straight through with the weapon. The secret doesn't pop.
Okay.
If there's 7 minions on board, and you try to attack, and like if I've got 7 minions and I play a paladin get down secret, and you attack something, there's no room to play the 2/1 to get down, so the secret doesn't pop. Like, this is a consistency among Blizzard secrets.
All
So there's definitely no way they're going to make this one be like, oh, it can pop without going off. Like, that's not how it's going to
All
work.
right. With that in mind, now I agree with Dills.
Yeah. There's a precedence for this. I'm not just like pulling this out of my ass.
Yeah,
Like, this
no,
is how it works.
that's what I was going to ask you before you started talking was, do you actually have anything to back this up with? And actually,
Yeah.
in chat room saying that Blue Tweets have sided with Dills on this. It's the way you were wording it before, Dills, you just made it sound like it was your opinion. And that's why I wasn't sure.
No. I thought
Bill
about
doesn't
it.
have opinions.
No, but it's so like the problem for me is that it's random. So like, I mean, it'd be great if I have my 1/1 out and then it goes, he kills my Cult Master so that he doesn't kill my 1/1, and then guess what? My 1/1's a 4/3. That's cool. But what about the time where it gives my 4/4 plus 3/2, and then he goes, "Cool, big game hunter." You know, like that sucks, and that's kind of stuff that's going to happen. And plus, the thing is, Paladin. The problem with Paladin is not randomly buffing one of their minions. Like that wasn't the thing that was going to save Paladin. So I'm a little disappointed, especially when you see what Warriors got, and I'll let you explain that. But
Yeah,
it's just underwhelming. That's all. It's underwhelming.
It's a lot less exciting. I'll definitely give you that. To the warrior, they got a new weapon, also a common, called Death's Bite. It costs 4 mana. It has 4 attack and 2 durability. Okay, all right, nothing interesting. Oh wait, what's this? It has a death rattle. Deal 1 damage to all minions. A weapon with a death rattle.
I dig it, dude.
And a good death rattle. And again, every time I see a death rattle now, I'm just like, imagine if you had Baron in play.
I'm curious though. Like, does a weapon death rattle go off twice if you have Rivendare out? I don't know.
It
I'm
states
curious.
death rattle, so I would
Yeah.
assume
I mean,
yes.
it counts.
Anything
It's
with
got to
a death
count as a
rattle, I
death
think.
rattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that it would go off twice and do 2 damage to everything. But
I don't have the research and examples to show you, Dills,
no,
that you
we can't do
previously
science
just
on
had
this one
for
yet.
the
But
other one.
I'm with you. I'm
But
assuming that's
logic
how it works.
would dictate if it says death rattle, it happens twice.
Yeah. If you have that card on board.
If you're just catching up, Baron Rivendare was one of the legendaries announced for Naxxramas, and his effect is that when he's out, death rattles trigger twice.
Yeah. But this is an amazing weapon right here, because basically what you're getting is for 4 mana, you're getting a True Silver Champion and a Whirlwind after you use it the second time. And in a Warrior deck, oh my god. Like, Whirlwind is really good anyway, but let's pair it up with a weapon while we're at it. And
The word amazeballs comes to mind.
yeah. It's pretty sick. Oh, Baron's text reads minion. Okay. When a minion's death rattle goes off. So
okay.
this
so never
probably
mind.
won't go off
So
twice.
then I
There you go.
stand corrected.
Thank you, chat room. Chat room's on the ball.
And to everyone in the middle of typing emails correcting us, I'm pointing it out. That was
Listen
the
to the rest of the
correction.
show, and then
Yeah, stop your email now.
Yeah.
Put the email down. But no, this is going to be a fantastic card for Control Warriors, and I think I'm going to make a statement here that we're going to start seeing Battle Rage in Control Warriors at some point. I think it's going to happen because with the way they work with the the whirlwinds and stuff, and you putting out things like Armor Smiths, and then you put out like an Acolyte of Pain, and then you'll whirlwind, and you'll have 2 or 3 minions that are damaged. To be able to draw 4 cards for 2 mana would be pretty sick, and I'm surprised we haven't seen it yet. So I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see Battle Rage go into Control Warrior decks at some point. It'll be, maybe Kit Kats will disagree with me, but the king of the Control Warriors.
He is apparently currently the king of warriors.
Yeah.
We'll
He's
talk
the
about a
guy
little bit
making
later.
all the cool moves with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to happen. I'm making a prediction.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of the Curse of Naxxramas, also today, and I'm going to preface all of this with filed this deeply under rumor and unofficial. None of this is coming from Blizzard. But there was
It's all completely untrue.
there was a most likely, completely and entirely as wrong as possible Naxxramas price leak. But everyone's talking about it today. So despite the fact that I think it's all bullshit,
Yeah.
I'm going to discuss it. Multiple Chinese websites had a slide floating around today claiming to be a legitimate breakdown of the pricing structure of the Curse of Naxxramas, which is the first adventure coming out for Hearthstone. Again, if you're catching up. And Hearthpwn wrote that according to this image, all of Naxxramas will cost 5,000 gold or $90 USD.
Yeah, Hearthstone just TMZ'd the crap out of this.
They did.
They really just ran with it.
This is really unlike them.
I was surprised. I was like, whoa.
Hearthstone, an offshoot of MMO Champion. This is a website I've been reading for over a decade or more, pretty much as long as they've been around. I don't think they were there, right at when Vanilla WoW hit, but they've always been usually right and very good about doing their research and data mining and stuff like that. This just seems like sloppy.
But
Yeah.
they did make a point of being like, this is what it would appear based on this, not like this is definitely what's going to happen.
Right,
here.
but to not put anything in there that like this
Yeah.
seems like it's probably not true at all.
Yeah,
'Cause
because it does not make sense.
doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No.
I think to me, what it looks like, where it being like an iteration of 9 every time, it looks like each wing might be $9, and it's just like maybe a poor translation or something. Like, because it's like 9, 18, 27, 36. Maybe it's 36 total
Yeah.
as opposed to 36 for the layer
Including
and
the-
27 for the military.
Yeah, it all adds up perfectly. Is including the gold. It goes from 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 to
Exactly.
2,000.
So I think maybe what it is 500 per quarter.
Or $9, but I don't think $9 is right. That doesn't feel right to me.
It seems odd.
If you're
as
talking
well.
about 500 gold, I don't think 500 gold equates to $9. 500 gold equates to like $6.
Well,
Like-
how much is it? Because I can't remember. I've never bought just like one pack with real money. So
you
if
can't
it's-
buy one pack. You can buy 2 packs for $3. That's where you're looking at. Like
And
you
a
can buy
pack's
one
100
pack
gold.
for 100 gold. You can
Yeah.
buy 2 packs for $3. You could argue that 2 packs for $3, this could make some sense.
Yeah.
But you can't even get, like, I know you're guaranteed to get these cards, which is different than a pack where it's like, I'll probably get some cards I already have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the amount of cards possible at the end is 30, and you're talking about paying $36 to get 30 cards. I don't know. That's
And the experience, though,
Seems-
because
I
you
understand
pay
that, yeah.
more money than you do. Like you pay 150 gold to get into Arena, which
Yeah.
is basically one guaranteed pack plus some dust or some gold or whatever.
Mhm.
And then you pay 100 gold just to straight up get that pack. And what you're getting is the Arena experience, even if you are like me a lot and just flat out lose, right? So you still get that pack for that gold. So
Well,
I think
yeah.
if you bundle in the cards you're going to get for each quarter, along with not having to pay for entry over and over and over and over, like just unlocking the wing forever, plus the cards that come with that wing once you beat it,
Mhm.
then I don't think that a $9 or 500 gold price point is that far off, especially given
Well, yeah.
how, not necessarily easy, but how doable 500 gold is.
I think 500 gold is correct. I think that sounds about right. But I think it would be something like $6 or $7. I don't know. $9. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I agree that the experience is repeatable. So,
I
but-
think that they probably want to encourage people to play the game, earn the gold, and get it for free as opposed to paying the $9. I think they might have
Really?
made it a little steep just to keep people playing
I
the
think
game
they
more.
want you to give them money. I don't
Really?
know.
I would agree with that
Maybe
sentiment.
I'm going out on a limb here, but I think
I don't
Blizzard
know.
wants you to just give them money. Like, I think that they should make this a price where you are likely to spend real money on it because that means real money.
Right.
That's what I mean. I think in the end we'll see it like $506, $507, something like that. We'll see though. This could be, I mean, if it's $9, whatever. I'm spending the 500 gold for sure, but that just seems crazy. It seems like a lot of money.
I wish they would just announce it officially so I know if I need to save gold or not. That's really what it boils down
Right.
I
to.
think you're probably safe saving gold regardless.
Yeah, you should probably save gold either way.
But there's
Yeah.
still cards I don't have and
Oh, pumpkin.
That sucks.
yeah, nonetheless, yeah, I think what happened with Hearthstone is they attacked it like they attack everything, which is this is what we have, and it's very matter of fact. They don't
It's
really
news.
give much opinion.
Yeah, it's news. So, they went with it.
yeah, that being said, yeah, I think this is just wrong. Like I'm not buying any of this. So,
You think
but-
it's like totally wrong? Like the 500 is wrong, and
I
$9 is
think the
wrong?
500 is like yeah, but
The number.
I
of
feel like
bosses is
I'm
wrong.
getting about as I'm getting
Everything
about as
wrong. Names of quarters wrong.
Yeah, there's no play quarter. Come on, wrong.
I'm basically
Have
just
you
saying
even been in Naxxramas? Wrong.
I'm getting about as much out of this as I would have if I hadn't seen it and just had asked Dills, what do you think it's going to cost? That's about
Sure.
how much I'm taking away from this.
No, I know. I don't put any stock into this yet. Wait to hear what Blizzard actually says. And Zaraya was on the ball. She tweeted about it and she said, "Guys, there's been no official announcement. Nobody get your panties in a bunch, as it were, over this one. It's
Don't they know it's
fine.
Hearthstone and panties are always in a bunch?
They're always in a bunch, you guys. Ooh, yeah.
It's a
Especially
video
about the
game
next-
in a world where people can talk to each other. Panties are always in a bunch.
Oh, is it on the internet and I don't have to actually say it face to face? Yeah, my panties in it.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Over the past weekend as well, PvP Live put on a pretty sizable Hearthstone tournament called the Tavern Takedown, where 8 players
Take over.
Sorry, Tavern
Yes.
Takeover. Where 8 players competed for part of a $3,000 prize pool.
Pretty sweet.
lot of money.
Have you not seen it? Spoiler alert. Three, two,
Well, yeah, we should probably tell
one.
people spoiler alert.
No,
if-
I was just giving everyone.
Oh no, I've seen it, but
We're
we
gonna
should
talk-
probably say
I
spoiler
have not
alert.
seen it, but I read the show notes.
Have you
So.
been able
Too
to-
late.
We're gonna tell you guys who won here, so if you don't want to know that, you should fast forward like a few minutes.
Dills and Jocelyn, just have a little sit down with you guys. If you're on this show, you will be spoiled whether or not you've seen something.
Yeah, it's
Just
true.
Yeah.
letting you know.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be good to go watch. I mean, you know.
Has anyone found VODs? I went digging around today. I could not find any VODs.
They replayed it all on the PvP Live Twitch, so I would assume that those broadcasts are still chilling. I don't know, maybe they
Okay.
took them down, but
Okay.
I watched it live, and then immediately when it was done, they just started replaying it. You know, so it was on again, like right away.
Okay. Well, if anyone finds official VODs, please send a link to tacpodcast@gmail.com or tweet it at us. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, congrats. American player Reels won over Savitz in a 4-1 victory with his Miracle Rogue deck. Trump came in 3rd place. He did really well with Garo's Druid deck and Kit Katz's Warrior deck. Which, speaking of Kit Katz's Warrior deck, fun fact, his Warrior deck was the only Warrior deck played by anybody in this entire tournament.
Pretty much. You're not seeing any of the face warriors anymore because they're too. They run out of steam really easily, and
Right.
they just don't work anymore. So, but it was a really fun tournament to watch. I will say a couple of gripes that are minor, but I would like to see improved is they pre-recorded games and then kind of hinted that they were live. I'm not going to put this out. Like, people were way too mad about this. The name PvP Live didn't, to me, mean, okay, this is definitely live. Like, PvP Live is like the name of the company or whatever.
Name of
that's
the
putting it
website
out, right?
and the
Yeah.
So
channel.
that's whatever. Like, but the fact that live was in the title made people like lose their shit. Like, they were just like, "No, you're saying this is live, and Unleash costs 2 mana. Ah, nerd rage!" You know, and like they just got so angry. But the tournament was called the Tavern Takeover, not the Live Tavern Takeover. Like, it's, you know, PvP Live is like the name of the, yeah. So anyway, that needs to be separated in people's minds. But I didn't really like the random 10-minute breaks out of nowhere. I think they could have gone with like 5 minutes or something. But I understand they're trying to make money, so I'm not going to, be upset about that. But it was a really good tournament, really well put on. I enjoyed the casting. I think they had a WoW caster, which was a little funky.
Oh,
He didn't know some of the stuff very well, but he did his best, and I'm not going to, give him crap over that. And then really good players. So there you go. Good combination for a good tournament.
also another something we didn't mention since we talked about the patch today. This tournament was pre-recorded before the Unleash the Hounds nerf.
Yeah, I felt for them on this one because it wasn't like they knew the nerf was coming, and they actually recorded these pretty close to when they aired it. So
Right, and it's only one card. It's not like these
Yeah.
other jackasses I know of that did this tournament and like 7 cards were
yeah,
changed.
Novice Engineer was
Yeah.
changed, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's
who
crazy.
did this? Oh, man,
I don't know.
this-
WTF, man? How old is
this
this?
Gills and Darrett guy. They're terrible.
But no, I was watching it and I was just like remembering our chat when we were airing it. It was pretty funny. But no, I mean,
Yeah.
they did a good job. This is the first time they've ever done this, and their plan is to clearly do more of these. Big prize pool, which is great for Hearthstone as just an esport. So and I would like to see less invitationals and more live stuff like DreamHack, where it's just open play. But I understand right now without observer mode, it's a little tough. You really need to get players that you can contact and have them record their games and all of that. So people getting really upset about this need to just take it down a notch. Just chill out, man. It's all going to be okay.
Also, in a just for fun mention this week before we get into strategies and dig into the Miracle Rogue, if you haven't seen Penny Arcade's recent comic regarding Hearthstone, they posted 3 parody card images, and And I'll read an excerpt from one of them, which shows a hunter card, and it says beast mode, and the text reads, "Whenever you think about how cool beasts are, draw and play an unlimited number of beasts who have charge N+5 or some shit."
Yeah.
So awesome.
They've had a bunch
Yeah.
of really good Hearthstone comics
Yeah.
on Penny Arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nailing it.
They're clearly playing the hell out of the game, it seems
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because it seems to be on the forefront of their thoughts. So, yeah, go check that out. We got a link to it in the show notes. It is time to talk some Miracle Rogue.
Hit it very hard.
Wanna blow something up? Time to pay!
Okay, so we just talked about the tavern takeover, not takedown. I'm not dumb. And there was a lot of Miracle Rogue plays. So, Dills, when I asked you today, what do you think of for strategies? Duh, Miracle Rogue.
Yeah, we got to talk about it, man.
It must be discussed.
It's everywhere on the ladder, and it's everywhere in tournament play right now. And it's just it's a deck that it's not a new deck really, but it's been refined over time. This deck, I mean, if anybody has been watching, watching Angry Chicken stuff and Frog Pants stuff for a while, you might remember the Instance TV episode where I played Mr. Scott Johnson and showed him what I was calling. What was I calling it? I was calling it like the OP Rogue deck or something like that, or Broken Rogue, I think is what I was calling it.
Broken Rogue is what you're calling it.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous. And so, I mean, I created this deck like almost instantly when the game came out. It was one of the first decks I realized, like, oh, look what you can do with Rogue. They have all these spells that cost 0 or 1 mana, and then you have a Gadgets and Auctioneer. And at the time, Conceal was 0 mana. So if you could get a Conceal and an Auctioneer by turn 5, then you like went off on turn 6. So now it's a little tougher. You have to wait a little longer to actually go off, but it doesn't mean that the deck is weak by any means. The idea behind Miracle Rogue, for anybody who's not familiar, is basically play, like your whole hand is full of removal spells and a few really strong minions. And then there's a couple versions. One has Malagos and one has Leroy Jenkins.
The Leroy one to me is the more common one. I wasn't.
It's the more consistent, strong one.
I am not familiar with the Malagos one at all, so this will be interesting to.
Yeah. So, well, the
talk
Malagos Rogue is kind of its own thing, but it's still a Miracle Rogue in the end. It's still Miracle. But anyway, so the idea is you get an Auctioneer out, you play him, and then you just play a whole bunch of spells. And every time you play a spell, you cantrip, so you draw a card. So you play a card, you draw a card at the same exact time. So you just cycle through your deck. And most of the time, you can get through your entire deck, by the time the other guy's gone through like half of his deck, which means you've gotten to your combo. And the big combo for Leroy is I play Leroy, and then I Shadow Step Leroy back into my hand. Then I play Leroy again, and then I Shadow Step him back, and I play him again. And then I could also maybe Cold Blood him a couple times in between there if I feel like it. So it's a sick amount of damage. And it's generally by the time you've gotten the combo, the guy's low enough on health that you can finish him off.
With no buffs, that's 18 damage.
Yeah. With no buffs, it's 18 damage. It could go as high as, 26 with the Cold Bloods thrown in. And then also you can maybe prep Eviscerate for the last 4 damage. Why not? So, I mean, there's so many different ways to do burst damage that it's gotten really popular because it's almost a guarantee. The only time that it doesn't work is when you don't get the Auctioneer. If you get the Auctioneer and you play it correctly, you're going to get there. So it's a tough deck to play, and which is why you see it a lot at some of the high levels played by some of these really smart players. But you're now just starting to see it everywhere on the ladder, so a lot of people are starting to figure out how to actually make it work. But it's really, really good. It's a really, really good deck. It's much better, I think, than Tempo Rogue right now. And it can kind of beat every deck. So I want to share real quick, though. This is kind of a shout out to Amon, who I did a session with yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And he had a Miracle deck that had Malagos and Leroy. And he was like, nah, dude, either way, whatever way I get there, I'll just, I don't know if it works, but I'm going to put it in the show notes. You guys can try it out. Let me know if it's terrible or if it's good. I haven't tried it, but...
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, but he was like, hey, I got lots of win conditions. But the Malagos version is a little different. You do play your auctioneer and you do cycle your deck in much the same way, but you're really depending on drawing Malygos at some point, which is the 9 mana 4/12 that gives you +5 spell damage, which makes Sinister Strikes do 8 damage. It makes Eviscerates that you've comboed do 11 damage, right? No, wait. How much? 9 damage.
9.
Wait. Yeah, 9 damage. And so basically you've got just sick amounts of burst at the end once you can get them out. And what you do with that deck is a little different. With the Leroy deck, you use your preparation, which makes your next spell cost 3 less mana. You use your preparations to get to the rest of your cards to get to that Leroy combo. In the Malygos deck, you want to save your preparations if you can, so that when you get Malygos out, you can play Malygos, prep, Avis, Malygos, prep again.
Oh no, we just lost Dills.
Oh no. I thought that might happen. He got all freezy.
He did get all freezy. Oh, Dills,
Oh,
are you back?
Back?
Did you guys lose me?
You did.
Yeah.
You dropped entirely. Your camera is gone.
Uh-oh. That's unfortunate.
That is really unfortunate.
Okay, well what did you miss?
Your long list. You said prep about 10 times, and then we lost
Yeah,
you.
so prep and then prep again, because you got to prep the next
Keep
prep.
prepping.
Yeah. So, but no, and just the point is that the Malygos one, you want to save your preps for Malygos. So that's really like the only real difference in how you play before your big combo.
Yeah, it's same. Both of these have cards you want to hold on to no matter when you find them. Obviously, with the Leroy Voice,
Yeah.
you want to keep your Shadow Steps.
Yeah, you don't want to use up your Shadow Steps, like, because you'll see a lot of players will do this. They'll make this mistake the first couple times they play it, where they'll play like an Auctioneer on maybe like turn 6 and not have enough mana to cast any spells. Because I mean, Auctioneer costs 5 mana, so he uses half of your mana bar up just to play him. And if you use him too early, then some people will do this, like Shadow Step him back, and now he costs 3, and I can play him later and do more spells. But now
Right.
you've lost a big piece of your combo. So that's one of the mistakes I see a lot of people make. So you really want to hold on to your Gadgets and Auctioneer until you can actually go off with it. And that's one of the keys that you see the really good players make, is they actually know, okay, I can't go off on turn 5. I need to wait till turn 7 or 8 to really kind of make this big move. But yeah, the key to the deck in both cases is Auctioneer. It's pretty much, if you don't draw it, you're not going to win. But the thing is, you have so much early removal with SI7s, backstabs, eviscerates, your weapons and stuff, with your deadly poisons, that you kind of have control of the board the whole way, regardless. And then you just draw your whole deck, and then you get your combo.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
The other card I'd like to just show as kind of mention as an MVP of this deck is Conceal, because it it can keep your Auctioneer alive. Say you've got 6 mana and you've got a bunch of spells in your hand, but you can't play at the same turn you played your Auctioneer, but you have a Conceal. You play your Auctioneer, you play your Conceal. It lives till next turn, and then you've got all the mana in the world to cast spells.
Yeah, exactly. You can do this on turn 6 or on turn 5 with the coin. So, and then the coin also draws you a card too. So going second with this deck is amazing. It starts real slow, and then it's just around turn 7, 8, 9 where you just completely go crazy. We can't really talk about this deck without talking about how you can beat it. I think that's probably what most people want to know. Most people in the chat are like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
we know how it works, dude. It's killed me multiple times.
You go week to week in this game, and you notice there's one thing I've noticed, and there's always a villain in Hearthstone, and everyone's kind of chill on the Hunters since Unleash the Hounds got nerfed. There's still plenty of people mad at Hunters, but now it seems like Miracle Rogue is the one that everyone's got their pitchforks out for.
Yeah, and it's probably the strongest deck going right now, so it makes sense. But how to beat it? You don't beat it. You just cry. You cry every time. No, but what you do is you hope they get a bad draw first and foremost. That's like number one way to beat it, is hope they get a bad draw. But otherwise, you need to play pretty fast, honestly, against Miracle Rogue. You can't, if you sit back and you wait too long, then by the time they get their Auctioneer out, they haven't had to use all their removal spells. So really what you want to try to do is exhaust them before they can get to like turn 6, 7, and 8, where they can actually start cantripping through their deck. Like you want them to be using up the backstabs. using up the eviscerates, using up the saps early on. And, if you can get them to do that, then you actually have a decent shot so that they don't have like everything they could possibly ever need when the auctioneer hits the board. The other thing is watch out for Blade Flurry.
Too.
What's that?
Big taunters kind of throw a wrench in this deck.
Kind of, but the problem is that you play a big taunter that costs like 6 or 7 mana, and then they just sap it, and that costs them 2. So
right.
It's not like a guaranteed way to deal with it. Like one of the decks that does well against it is like Shaman, who plays the doggies, the Spirit Wolves. And
I was playing it earlier today, and I was having a hard time with druids.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can do like the Watcher Druids, where you play like 2 creatures and then like Sun Fury between them, that's okay too, because they can't sap both of the taunts. They have to get through 2 taunts, not just one. So like that Gara Ramp Druid you'd think it would be great against this, but it's actually not so great because they just sap your 7-cost taunt back in and then kill you.
Yep.
So it's tough. You got to be careful too about loading the board up. I've done this several times where I'm like, oh man, I got this guy. There's no way he can get through all this stuff, and then he goes like, Deadly Poison, Blood Mage Thalnos, Blade Flurry, everything's gone. So you got to be careful about that too. And Ooze is going to really help you out to beat these guys because most of them are running Assassin's Blade to help them get that early damage in. If you can play a lot of aggro, like if you have a lot of creatures out early and you're going to their face and they're kind of on their heels, that's another great way to do it. So Aggro Hunter, Zoo, Watcher Druid. And I actually think Handlock is fairly decent against them if you can get a really good draw where you can get a couple of big dudes both with Taunt out. But they're also a little iffy because you're low on health by the time they can get their combos. So it's a tough deck to play against.
Yeah,
I think
Handlock's gonna be real scary because all of a sudden you're like, with eviscerates, you're in lethal range.
Well, yeah. Well, if it's the Malagos deck, then Handlock is just like, screw it, I'm done. I can't do it. But the fact is, if you can get the 2 dudes with Taunt out, the Leroy one can't get past it. So that double Molten Giant Defender of Argus is like not going to work at all.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, there might not be a deck that beats this deck if they get the perfect draw. Like it might not work. I am seeing somebody just in chat said Fen Creeper. I am seeing people start to play this card because it can actually slow them the hell down. So there might be some cards you'll start to see more of. Like Taz Dingoes and Fen Creepers might be
Good.
big time.
Good. I love the art on Fen Creeper. I'll finally have a reason to throw him out on the board.
Exactly.
The whole reason I want to play it. Did we lose Dills again? Looks like we lost. I don't know what's going on here. I think we lost Dills again, but I think he's done, so we'll move directly into crazy game stories.
Is the whole world gone crazy?
You're in trouble now.
You got it!
Crazy game stories. You can send yours into tacpodcast@gmail.com. Jocelyn, what do you have for us this week?
I have some science this week.
Science?
Yeah, science. I forgot to... Oh, it's Pete from Canada. I was like, I forgot to put who sent this in, but never mind. It's there in the first line. So he says...
All Canadians know each other, right?
Yeah,
It's a
he's
very
down
small
the
country.
right now.
Pete. You guys hang out
Yeah,
all the
I can
time.
just wave at him right now. Hi, Pete. So he says, hey there, chickens. My name is Pete from Canada, and I've got a crazy game story for you. So I'm playing Handlock against Paladin. It's late game, and I'm down to 9 life. The Paladin is going down to his last card in his hand, which turns out to be a secret, which he plays, followed by his hero power to end his turn. On my turn, I throw down Jaraxxus, which activates the secret, Repentance. Not thinking the spell had any effect on Jaraxxus, I promptly attack his 1/1 minion, only to see my hero explode, ending the game. In that stunned moment, I stopped to think about what had happened and realized Repentance had worked its magic on Jaraxxus, effectively giving me a hero who had a max life of 1, losing me the game with that fatal swing.
Yep.
I hope you guys use the story on the show, just in case there's other players who aren't aware of this. Love the show. Keep it up.
I'm one of those players. I was not aware this was a thing.
Yeah, we haven't talked
I
about
didn't
this
know
one,
it.
but this is a known one because what happens when you play Jaraxxus is Jaraxxus actually hits the board first, and then
He's a minion for a second.
goes into your hand, replaces your, so you're actually playing a minion named Jaraxxus, And actually, like if you mind games Jiraxis from another, person's deck as a priest, you get a 315 on the board. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. And actually, you can Alarmobot Jiraxis onto the board, and then he doesn't. His battle cry replaces your hero, so he just becomes a 315 on the board. So that's actually how that secret's supposed to work. Knocks him down to 1 health, then he replaces your dude, and you now have 1 health.
Oh
So
man,
yeah,
that is a wonderful little science blurb right there. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for that, Pete.
yeah. It's one of the other answers to Jiraxis besides a Sacrificial Pact, which is of course the 0 mana kill a demon,
Incredibly
gain 5 life or
specific
whatever.
card.
Yeah, which kills Jiraxis. So
Yeah.
It feels so much like a sideboard card, and we haven't seen a tournament with sideboards in a while.
yeah. Well, the Mana Grind tournaments all are
Oh,
sideboard.
they're still doing sideboards? Okay.
But they're not like true sideboards. They're like do whatever the hell you want to your deck in between games, basically. So it's
That-
not true sideboarding. It's not like
Yeah,
you
it's-
have 10 cards you can pick from. It's just whatever you want.
That's the same rules they run at the sealed tournaments I play for Magic.
Oh yeah,
It's
See,
a
that
it's
seems
pre-release.
crazy to me, but I understand it in
Yeah.
like these tournaments where it's like I can't sit across this. I can't sit across from you and be like, "Are you putting in your 10 sideboard cards, or what do you know?" Like it's just too much to
Yeah.
manage.
And yeah, it keeps it a little more casual and fun. So
Yeah,
it makes it a
absolutely.
less stressful environment. So, all right, well, let's round up the show with some emails.
Hello?
Hello, it's me.
Hello?
Just quickly, do you get my message?
Yep.
Oh,
Hello, brother.
I really missed all of these bumpers while I was gone. I'm just gonna
There
put
was
that out there.
Jiraxis right there, wasn't it? Yeah.
Emails, same email address, tacpodcast@gmail.com. Our first email today comes to us from Marco, who writes, "Greetings and salutations, our fine feathered enraged friends. Quick question. Sorry if you have already discussed this, but I would love to hear you guys talk neutral spells. Will we ever have them? Do we need them? I realize the battlecry mechanic is basically the same thing, plus you get a minion, but do you think we will ever see dedicated neutral spell cards? As always, thanks for all the great conversation, information, and laughs." I don't think battlecry is the same thing.
It's not, but it's
It's
Like, when
similar,
you
but
play-
often not directed.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like saying any card that does anything is the same as a spell card. I mean, I don't
no,
know.
it's not. That's not the same.
Spell
But
card
like
is a spell card.
when you play, it's a 4/2 that does 2 damage when it comes out. It's acting the same as like
Similar, yeah.
it's like a smite plus a 4/2. I don't know. Like you could look at it that way, but it's not correct because it doesn't benefit from spell damage. So just that alone makes it not really count. But I think we could. I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon, but I think at some point there could be a place in this game for neutral spells, and I would like to see some of that. Like, I like the fact that there's flavor and what class can counter another class and that kind of stuff, but I would like to see certain things become available to everybody if it were.
Now,
Can you, both of you guys have played Warcraft a lot more and a lot longer than I have. Is there anything that you can think of that would be a class neutral, appropriate spell?
damn you for stealing my follow up.
I mean, that's a good point. There's
reason
not
I
like a neutral spell in World of Warcraft,
Yeah,
right?
the
Like,
reason I was going to
everybody
ask
has
that
this.
is because I can't think of one.
Well, let's see. Let's think about this. No,
No,
that's not.
in the
Mount
lore,
up!
in the
Mount
I
lore,
was
up!
just I was thinking something with mounting, something with flying.
Bandage!
flying mount, yeah, first aid. Oh my god,
Cooking!
Survey.
how amazing would
Yeah.
that be? Cotton bandage.
Yeah.
It's just,
I don't know. I
it's an
mean,
Earthen Ring Farseer
could-
without
the
the
thing
minion.
is, all
It
of that
could be
stuff
tied
is a
to
thing that's in your
professions.
bag, though. It's not really a spell. Like Hearthstone is a thing in your bag, right? So, it's not a spell. It's an item.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of things in this game that are considered spell cards that wouldn't really be considered a spell in Warcraft.
Yeah. Mass res that you get from your guild. I don't know. I mean, but again, none of this. It's if they're sticking true to WoW mechanics, really, there really aren't just neutral spells. So
Yeah, to be a Warcraft nerd, yeah, everything is kind of steeped in some school of magic. You got the
Yeah,
arcane
yeah.
and your demon magic and stuff like that. So
yeah. So it's unlikely then, but I would like to see some stuff. Like I wouldn't mind seeing something like there's you could do it without spells though. Like there's an ooze that gets rid of a weapon. You could have some sort of a minion that gets rid of a secret. You could have you could do some of that kind of stuff, and that would work. Just a spell card though.
They just don't
it's gonna be
trigger
tough.
your auctioneer, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Anyways, Dills, you want to take the next email?
Yeah, this is from Kai. I think that's how you spell it.
That's how I
Or
say it.
pronounce it. Yeah, Kai. Hello. I heard you guys mention in the last couple of episodes about how many games you need to reach legendary. So I ran a simulation to find expected number of games to reach legendary rank with constant win rate and more realistic win rate. Note the realistic win rate scenarios assuming your win rate decreases linearly from 100% to whatever percent you expected or you are expected to do at legendary rank. Interesting observations. Here we go. So he's actually bullet pointed these out, which is really cool. We have very smart listeners, I gotta say.
I thought you'd like this one because there are spreadsheets and graphs.
Oh.
It
Oh,
is,
no,
I already
it
clicked
was
through
the
these,
most
yeah.
intense thing I've ever seen.
It is very cool. It is very cool. So, okay, with a constant win rate, you'll need 1,385 games at 50% win rate, 278 games at 60%, 154 at 70%, and 105 at 80%. And everything above 60% is incredibly tough to get right now in the current meta game. But you could have those hot streaks that you just like. My deck just is working against the meta right now. So, and that kind of, I've seen people be like, I got from 5 to legend in 3 hours. So that kind of stuff does happen, but it's really tough. With 60% win rate, you need 122 games to reach legendary from rank 5, compared to 923 games at 50%. So that's just from 5 to legend. Using realistic scenario, if you're expected to have 50% win rate at legendary, you would need 267 games to reach it. So what that means is if I started 100% win rate at rank 25 and slowly whittle down to a more realistic 50% by legend, it would be 267 games, which I think this one is going to be more, this is going to be like closer to most people, like how
Yeah.
this looks. You'll be hot early when you're playing the new players, and then you'll slowly slow down as time goes on. You'll need the same amount of games or more to go from rank 5 to legendary compared from 25 to 5. And that's kind of how they wanted to design it, I think. So, summary.
Which I find so crazy.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
like that, you go 20 ranks and then to go 5 ranks is the same amount of games.
No, it's true, yeah. Summary, reaching legendary is a grind unless you can win 65 to 70% of your games against high-ranked players.
As it probably
that's
should
right.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you need 267 games to reach legendary and the season is about 30 days long, you probably need to be playing about, 9 games a day? 9 or 10 games a day? So, yeah, it's 9. It's about 9 games. It's just under
Yeah.
9.
That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games to play every day, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that means if you miss a day, you got to play 18 games the next day. So
Yeah. Wow, that just got really intense really fast. You miss one day and you're totally screwed.
Okay, it's 8.9 games a day. So yeah, it's
Nerd.
got to play exactly 8.9 games a day, everybody.
That point 9 is
but-
the hard one to do since it's impossible.
It's the 0.9 is really tough. Yeah, I can do 8.
I mean, you
So
just
0.9.
like play to turn like 6 or 7 and then just
Left.
leave.
Yeah. Like I assume I might win. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I mean that's it's that would take a couple hours to do at least to play 9 games. So you're talking about doing a couple hours of Hearthstone every day, which is reasonable for someone who plays this game every day. But someone who plays other games,
Yeah. It is reasonable,
tough.
but I think we kind of hit on it already, is that if you miss a day, it goes from 2.5, 3 hours to all of a sudden 6. And if you miss like a weekend, all of a
Yeah.
sudden you've got to play like 12 hours in a day to get yourself back to where you were again. Like that's a lot of dedication.
Yeah,
Now,
it is.
that being
I-
said, though, should Legend be easy? I don't think so.
No, I
it
don't
should-
think it should be easy.
It should be easy, but should it take job-like hours too? I'm not sure. In StarCraft, we have not rest. We have bonus pool. We're away from playing. We get a bonus pool, which helps us keep up our rank climb with less games played.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if they would ever consider anything like that for Hearthstone, and I have no idea how they would implement it. I'm just putting the thought out into the universe.
You get rested XP in WoW, so this is Heroes of Warcraft. It's a thing.
Where's our
exists in
rested
WoW.
XP?
Yeah, rested ranking. That could be kind of cool. You don't play for a day, the next day you get a win streak bonus at 2 games instead of 3 or something. Like
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
So I don't
it
know.
could be cool.
Thank you for that email, though, Kai. That is very
cool.
My brain feels like it's firing on all cylinders, which is wonderful because I have to try and sleep after this.
So thanks for that.
Thank you for that. Someone in the chat room, Frogs F, said in response to neutral spells, he wants to see a puntable marmot. Which, if you're a WoW fan, you were, and you're like me, that's your
But
favorite.
that's also an item. It's
your
just an
favorite
item in your
random
bag.
Yeah.
So are other spells. Stills. Jeez. Come on. Before we read the last email, chat room, feel free to start shooting us some questions, which we'll take after we read the last email. Jocelyn, who was it from?
Wait, symbiosis. Symbiosis. That druid can make everybody have a druid spell. So we could all get swipe. I think we should give all the classes swipe. All right, sorry. Go ahead,
Just solve the
Jocelyn.
problem.
Yeah.
So this last email comes to us from Alex, and I'm just going to warn everybody before I put this in the chat room. If you are not caught up on the Game of Thrones TV show, do not click this link. Okay, you've had your spoiler warning. So this one comes from Reddit, and it says, found this on the Game of Thrones subreddit, thought y'all might enjoy it. Especially the Hounds in Rage, and that's from Alex in Florida. So basically, someone has gone through and made Game of Thrones legendary cards for all the Game of Thrones characters in Hearthstone with some really, really, really cool flavor text. So I thought this was awesome. Instead of like beasts, you've got Lannisters and Starks, and you've got, like Jon Snow with Ghost as his battle cry.
My favorite one is
awesome.
My favorite one is Braun, always controlled by the player with the most health.
Yeah, that one is awesome. They are all quite witty. They're not full on spoilery, but you can kind of logic your way through into some spoilers if you're not careful. So
I'm calling out
make sure
whoever
you're caught up.
I'm calling out whoever made these. The dragon, that's a 5/5 for 5 with no text on it. That's a freaking awful legendary. You have failed.
Well, no, but it gets summoned from. I don't think you actually play it because there's a dragon egg, which is like. Didn't you get Daenerys?
Okay.
She
Death
brings
Rattle
up
summon a
2
5/5
dragon or
dragon.
3 dragon eggs,
Okay.
and when they
All right.
die, they're 0/2s. They spawn the 5/5s.
Okay, so this is actually a lot more in depth than I thought it was.
Somebody
It's
really
so
thought
in
this
depth.
through.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many like cards that trigger other cards, and these different, like I said, battle cries and death rattles, and yeah, they really thought this through. So just thought I'd give them a shout out because it was actually
Cool.
really cool. So thanks for sending that in, Alex.
By the way, Frog SF is actually who that is, and Frog SF was my round 1 opponent at the SF game night when we did the tournament, and she says she wants a rematch now that Unleash the Hounds is nerfed because I
Did you beat her
three-
with a hunter?
I beat her twice in a row with my hunter deck. The hunter deck was so overpowered. I won 6 games in a row with it, and then I got lost to another hunter. So
Serves you right, karma.
all right, I'll be there tomorrow. You're on.
All right, some chat room questions before we end the show. Baronaldatorin, who your name is hard to pronounce, said, "What would it take to make mages viable at high ranks again?"
Polymorph is 3 mana. I've said this before. I think it really should be. I think it should be. It matches Assassinate because you 3 mana, then you ping. It's dead. 5 mana, Assassinate.
But then, what does it do with Hex?
Well, the Hex is a 0/1. It doesn't do any damage to you.
But
so
it has taunt,
it's different.
which
It's different.
which
It's different.
it's
different.
But we've said on the show that Blizzard apparently believes that taunt is worth something. It has a
Worth 1 health, apparently, and
Yeah.
1 mana. Or 1 attack and 1
attack.
mana. I don't know if it's worth that. I don't think it is. I think that's a lot. Because if you look at like a 2 mana 2/2 with taunt, and then there's a 2 mana 3/2 with taunt, this is 1 more mana, and you get an attack. I don't know. I don't think it matches up. I think it's off. I think Polymorph is off by 1 mana. But I don't know. Mages are not good, so you gotta do something, and I don't really want them to buff Flame Strike. So I say buff Polymorph. I think that could work.
I don't see it ever happening.
Probably, I don't think it will happen, but I think that would be the card that I would say that would probably push them a little over the edge, because you could do something in the same turn as you play your polymorph, you know. So that I think that's the logical thing. So it's you know, it's a tough one to figure out exactly what's wrong with mages right now, because they were so overpowered when they had the overpowered cards, and then all the overpowered cards got nerfed a little bit. Maybe 9 mana Pyroblast. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But something needs to become a little cheaper for them. I think that's what you got to do.
Yeah. I'm just going to get this out of the way. Someone wants you to predict when you think Adventure Mode is coming, Dills.
Oh. Well, that's Curse of Naxxramas, right? So I already said August. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Done.
August.
No time
There you
soon
go.
is the answer. What would be the best way to make arcane dust and money? I keep telling folks, especially the free-to-plays, to just keep doing Arena.
Yeah, Arena is the way to go. Do Arena and pick Mage, Paladin, or Rogue every time you can, because those are going to give you the best chance to win.
Yep.
Stay away from Warlock in Arena. It's tough. It's hard.
Hunter, I found Hunter's really hard too. I just finished a Hunter arena run, and that I went 2 and 3, and I got like no beast cards whatsoever. It was just all neutrals. So yeah.
I
Here's-
think Hunter was good with the Unleash before, because you know you could really kind of construct it like a constructed deck. Just pick all the beasts and all the buzzards and all the Unleashes. But it's a little tougher now, I think.
Yeah.
This one's fun. If you could substitute any of the hero powers, which one would it be and with what power? So if you could take another hero's hero power and slap it on the hero of your choice, what would you do?
Life tap.
That's
Well,
my answer. Thank you.
Yeah, if I could pick one for any
Done.
other
Next
class, I
question.
would always take Life Tap. But you know, I think I could see. Man, I don't know, dude. That's weird.
I wouldn't mind having the priest heal on my shaman, because my shaman seems to just suck because he doesn't stay alive.
No.
That's a good point. Shaman could go with that. The thing is, like, theirs makes too much sense, like with World of Warcraft. You know, the totems and
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not saying get rid of totems.
yeah.
I'm just
You
thinking
want
like,
totems and heals?
no, I
Give
wouldn't.
me my totems and give me heals.
I
Give me
wouldn't-
whatever the hell I want.
I wouldn't mind the healing totem healing the shaman again like it did in beta.
That
That would have
actually
been
wouldn't
nice.
seem that crazy to me.
At this point, it seems like it wouldn't completely upset everything, but I don't know.
Right now, you notice like there's like that's the one totem that I will tend to just leave on the board is the healing totem, more than any other totem. But like if it was healing the shaman again, I would always kill it. I don't know. I mean, I understood why they changed it, because it was pretty crazy when you could just like pop out a healing totem and be like, cool, I'm good to go for a while now. Like I'll just keep this going. But of all the 4 totems, that's the one I will ignore more than any other.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You shouldn't. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing that it becomes a target.
Yeah, it just becomes a target when it does that again.
Yeah.
It's just you got to kill the damn thing, you know. So
Yep. Neo Renio asks, when are we having our next tournament?
good question.
I'm not sure.
You know what? Probably when they give us observer mode. To be honest,
We have sat down and talked about it multiple times now, and
It's just so
it's
hard.
horrifying. It's a terrible experience trying to put together one of these things without the observer mode, because
Yeah.
we're dependent on too many other people to.
Put it together.
All the
Yeah.
players have to send us their replays. We then have to get the replays, which are huge files, and then get them to someone who does video editing, because none of us do video editing. And then
now, yeah. That being said, if there was observer mode, the video editing would be so simple that we could do that video editing.
well, that's what I mean. We wouldn't
Yeah.
need it. I would just like have a logo and a counter, and that's it. You're done. You're good. Go. I mean, it's so simple in StarCraft right now because of that reason, and it will be so simple in Heroes of the Storm because it was built in the StarCraft engine.
I am going to put this out there, though, that me and the guys at SF Game Night are discussing like a major Hearthstone tournament, a major live Hearthstone tournament. So I will keep everybody informed on what's going on with that, because, you know, we're talking about, you know, big prizes, sponsors, streaming on Twitch, all of that. And
Are you allowed to
your-
talk about
keep-
this? Doesn't sound like something we should be
ears
talking
open.
about.
no, it's very early on, but I'm not going to give a date. I'm just saying we're talking about it. So
It's happening.
you will know as soon as I know when stuff is happening. But these guys are very motivated, and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
We'll definitely be doing more tournaments, just not sure
Yeah.
when.
Exactly.
Life has been happening a lot too, so.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, life sucks though. Come on, let's talk about video games, you guys. Get with it.
Yeah. This is what I get for asking a woman to marry me. It's just a bad decision.
Yeah, right. Don't do it.
Somewhere right now, Katie's just getting her senses are going off. Like, I need to make somebody sleep on the couch tonight. That's what's going to happen. All right, I think that'll about do it for today's episode. That I've
Before
essentially,
you get in any more trouble.
since I put myself in the doghouse,
Chicken coop.
the chicken coop. That's what we call it on this show. Yeah, you're damn right. Wanted to thank all of those of you who are supporting us on Patreon. If you're a TAC patron, thank you so much. We just completed our second month ever doing Patreon, so thank you for that. If you're interested in becoming an Angry Chicken patron, you can do so by going to patreon.com/TAC. This week we wanted to thank the following people for backing us. Big thanks to Tamara M, Harold B, Tyler M, Pat R, and Grayson E, aka Valk. Thanks, Grayson.
Oh, nice.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, I pretty much know all of these people. This is cool. You guys are the best.
You guys really are. It was really, really freaking humbling. You guys are the best. Thank you. And also, if you're an iTunes listener and you're leaving us reviews, thank you very much, because that's one of the best free ways that you can help out the show. So this week we wanted to thank from the U.S. store. Thank you to Althilion Menethil. Any relation to the dynasty of psychopaths? Mr. Shifter. Thank you to I'm Ron Burgundy.
Question mark, question mark.
Thank you to Pretend Devor and Tim Allen. God, I hope that's the real Tim Allen.
Sorry.
That would be
I do
amazing.
it.
Anyone from Canada, Jocelyn?
Yeah, we have Paradigm to thank this week from
No,
Canada.
it's Paradigm.
Oh, sorry. Paradigm.
Clearly that's Paradigm.
Para_Diggum. Diggum.
You've been waiting all show to say that, haven't you? You were like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to get her.
Wonderful.
In America, we say Paradigm. No. I don't know words.
As an American, I feel the need to refute that.
You mean refute that? Is that what you mean?
Oh, I'm hovering over the hang up button on Dills. As always, The Angry Chicken is a production of amove.tv and the Frog Pants Studios. Email us at tacpodcast@gmail.com. Our forum is over at forum.amove.tv. We record live every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on twitch.tv/amovetv. Our mobile live stream is provided by Alpha Geek Radio, which should be up and running again next week. I think I finally have this working, but you can get that by going to mobile.alphageekradio.com. Our Twitter is at TAC Podcast. My personal Twitter is at Garrett Art. Dills can be found at Willie Dills, and Jocelyn is over at GIS Gamer. Brian Griffith is a musician responsible for our awesome intro music. He can be found over at briangriffithmusic.com. And also, if you want to see my personal work, head over to nomoonart.com. That's my graphic design portfolio. Dills, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Instance, the World of Warcraft podcast. You don't have to. Is Scott Johnson and Mark Turpin. We were discussing this last week. Like, why are we calling you Terpster? Your name is Mark. And he goes, no, you're the T. No, you're Mark the T. Terpster Turpin. It was just, yeah, it got ridiculous. You can also find me on Into the Nexus with Garrett and Kyle. We're going to do that this Thursday, right?
You damn right we
also
are.
had a week off.
We have a lot of Heroes of the Storm to talk about.
There's a lot going on there as well.
Had
And
some really
man,
good
we had
games
some
this
good
weekend.
games the other night.
You're damn
man.
right we did.
Really good games. Yeah, we're kicking ass.
You
can also
I figured it
find-
out. Oh, sorry.
What's that?
I was going to say,
No,
I
go
figured
ahead.
it out. When I play Brightwing, we win.
Yeah,
When I don't play Brightwing, we lose
Yeah.
horribly.
yeah. It also helps when we have D-Day on our team. He's
Yes.
a good player.
Yeah, D-Day's damn
Yeah.
good.
You can also find me on TortureCast, which I will be doing momentarily, where we talk about the Giants, and hopefully MLB doesn't shut us down. Apparently, they're shutting down team-based podcasts, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. So,
Wait,
everybody-
They're coming at you from all sides.
What?
eh?
I
don't
First Twitch,
understand.
then the MLB.
First Twitch, then Major League Baseball. Really? Okay. I'm such a problem, you guys.
Just get off the internet.
Exactly. You can also find me on MJ Mediocast with really just MJ Tour. We're heavy into the season. Got a tournament coming up this Saturday, and if you're a mediocre golfer, you should definitely look into it. There's a lot of chapters around, and there's probably one nearby you. So there you go.
Check it out.
Don't find me on Twitch because I'm banned.
If Dills was stock, people would be purging it right now. They'd be selling
they'd
it
be
like
oh my
crazy.
god, this guy is he's in a slump. Get rid of
This
it.
guy is no.
Which brings us to our next
This
point.
guy
Next
is
week,
no.
Dill's bill will be replaced by a teddy bear.
He knows a
Replacing him
lot about Miracle Rogues though, so it's fine.
with an inanimate object. That's what we're doing. Jocelyn, where can people find you when you're not on the Angry Chicken?
Right here on A-Move TV every Friday night at 8:30, we do The Gamers In, which is just a general gaming podcast. We play everything, although right now I have been playing and streaming a stupid amount of Smite. It is like my favorite thing. So if you like Smite and you like me, then come watch me. We've been playing every Thursday night for Gamers In Game Night over at twitch.tv/thegamersin, or you can catch me streaming at twitch.tv/GISgamer.
Check it out. Also, check out our sponsors, doghousesystems.com. The code to use is TAC, and that code will get you double memory on your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig. Also, check out their special editions lines with the custom art on the side of your chassis, because there is an Angry Chicken one, so go get one, because they look awesome, and it supports us in the process. So check it out, doghousesystems.com. We thank them for their support. We thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next week for episode 31 of The Angry Chicken. But until then, job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Yes.
Good to be back.
Yeah, it's so good. I know.